Hey guys, this is Delphine with the Japanese lesson on the CultureQuirk channel. So yeah, this week is my first ever Japanese lesson, and I wanted to start out with something super basic, which is pronunciation. And I'll be teaching you through some beginner's words, so while the focus of the lesson is on pronunciation, if you're really a beginner, then you'll be learning some basic vocab as well. Just as a disclaimer, I'm not fluent and my accent isn't perfect, but I don't think I have a terrible accent either, and as a Japanese learner myself, I still think that there are some tips that I can give you. So first, a quick word about vowels. There are only 5 of them, which makes our lives a lot easier. A, I, U, E, O. That's all of them, that's it. As for the consonants, they're almost always combined with a vowel, but it's always one of those 5, so it still remains pretty simple. Check out this video for more about basic sounds and how to write them. Memorizing the alphabet is the first step in pronouncing actual words properly. Now let's learn a bit about word stress through how to say hello. There are lots of complicated rules on where to stress a word in English, and it can be kind of hard to figure out where the stress should be in Japanese. Notice how a lot of people say konnichiwa. The main problem with that pronunciation of the word is that the stress is all wrong. Konnichiwa, hello or good afternoon. Konbanwa, konbanwa or good evening. Ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu or good morning. So those are just a few examples. Always make sure to listen closely to words and try to pick up on where the stress is. I think that is the biggest thing that can help your pronunciation. And honestly, once you start to really pay attention, I think that Japanese has some of the easiest pronunciation from any language that I've had experience with, so you can do it. Here's a tip that you might want to try out when you say words for the first time. Try pronouncing the word without stressing any particular syllable. Konnichiwa, konbanwa, ohayo gozaimasu. Now you sound like a robot. Okay, so I realize that definitely sounds weird, but it's something that helped me in the beginning stages. Not stressing anything has you get away from your original accent and sort of creates a blank slate. And I think it might still sound better to not stress any syllable than to stress the wrong one. So play around with that concept and see if it helps you get a better hang of stressing the right syllables. Now I'll be going over some particular sounds. If you can get better at pronouncing these, it'll help you sound much more natural. The first one is shi. Within a word, this sound often becomes D-voiced. So it sounds more like sh than it does she. An example, hajimemashite, or nice to meet you. Hajimemashite, not hajimemashite. This happens a lot if the she is followed by a consonant, or oftentimes when it's at the end of a word. Another sound that's often D-voiced is su, so that it sounds more like s. An example of this is des, which is the word for to be. So Delphine des means I am Delphine. Des, not desu. You also see this in the phrase for good morning that I mentioned earlier. Ohayo gozaimasu. Saying a little bit of a su is fine, and it's good to know that a vowel is there. Just make sure not to stress that vowel in order to sound more natural. Being aware of this kind of thing can also help you further understand where to put stress within a word. So knowing that you devoice the su, you're going to naturally put a stress on the de, so it's des, not desu. Okay, so the last sound that I'll go over is the Japanese R or L sound. This might be the hardest one. A lot of people pronounce it like the English R, or they try to roll it like the Spanish R, but according to the standard Japanese accent, that's not quite right. An example, yoroshiku. The meaning of that word is something that would warrant an entire video. Literally means, please treat me kindly. It's something that's usually said at the end of introductions, and if you want to be more polite, try adding onegai shimasu. So here's the phrase that combines everything that we've learned today. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So don't pronounce it like yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Hear the difference? It's something to be aware of, it's something that takes practice, and it's something that will make you sound so much more fluent and natural, so it's definitely worth spending time on. Listening to as much Japanese as possible and paying attention to some of these pronunciation rules will help you out a lot. So bringing it all together, now you know how to introduce yourself. Konnichiwa, hajimemashite, Delphine desu, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. There you have it, hope that helps. Pronunciation is something that all language learners tend to struggle with, and like I said, it's something that I'm still working on myself. But the Japanese language is relatively kind when it comes to this, and the pronunciation rules are much simpler than a lot of other languages. So have faith, good luck, and happy learning!